In life, fear rarely arrives loudly at first. Most of the time, it begins quietly. A small worry, a small doubt, a small voice in the back of your mind that whispers, maybe later, maybe not today. But have you ever noticed something? The fears we avoid rarely stay small. They grow, they wait, and when we finally face them, they often seem much bigger than they ever needed to be. Today's story is gentle, but powerful. It is about courage, it is about hesitation, and most importantly, it is about what happens when someone finally chooses to face what everyone else runs from. So take a slow breath and listen carefully, because this simple forest story may reflect more of real life than we expect. Deep inside a wide green valley, where tall pine trees swayed softly in the wind and the morning air always smelled fresh and cool, there stood a large rocky hill. At the base of that hill, hidden behind thick bushes and hanging vines, was a quiet cave. Inside that cave lived a small brown rabbit named Oliver. Oliver was not the biggest animal in the forest. He was not the fastest, and he was certainly not the strongest. But Oliver had something far more valuable. He had a gentle heart. Whenever another animal was in trouble, Oliver was usually the first to help. If a bird dropped its food, Oliver shared his. If a squirrel lost its way, Oliver guided it home. Because of this, nearly every creature in the valley trusted him. One soft golden morning, Oliver hopped out of his cave in search of breakfast. His nose twitched hopefully. His stomach was already rumbling. For days he had been eating nothing but dry leaves and tough grass. What he truly wanted, what he deeply craved, was something sweet and fresh. A carrot. Bright, crunchy, perfect. Finding carrots in that part of the forest was not easy, but hope has a way of keeping small creatures moving. Oliver hopped farther than usual that morning, past the tall ferns, beyond the berry bushes, and near the edge of the cool riverbank. And then he froze. There it was, half hidden in the soft soil, glowing like treasure in the sunlight. A carrot. Oliver's eyes widened with joy. Carefully, gently, he pulled it from the ground. It was perfect, plump, fresh, beautiful. For a moment he considered eating it right there, but then he smiled to himself. "No," he whispered softly. "I'll take it home and enjoy it peacefully." Holding the carrot proudly in his mouth, Oliver began hopping back toward his cave. But happiness, when it grows too big, sometimes makes us careless. Lost in his excitement, Oliver wasn't watching the path carefully, and suddenly his foot slipped. The ground gave way beneath him. With a startled squeak, Oliver slid down the muddy edge of the riverbank. Just in time, he grabbed a thick tree root with both paws. His heart pounded wildly in his chest. He was safe, but the carrot had slipped from his mouth. Oliver's eyes widened in horror as he watched it tumble into the rushing river. "No, no, no," he gasped. He scrambled along the riverbank, chasing the floating carrot with desperate hops. For a brief second it bobbed near the surface. Then the current pulled it faster, farther, until finally it vanished beneath the roaring waterfall downstream. Oliver stood there, breathing hard. His shoulders slowly drooped. The forest suddenly felt very quiet, very empty. Too tired and too disappointed to search for more food, Oliver slowly made his way back toward his cave. All he wanted now was rest. But as he approached the cave entrance, he stopped. Something felt wrong. The air was different, heavy, still, heavy. Oliver's ears twitched nervously. His chest tightened. And for the first time that day, a thin thread of fear slid through his body. Very carefully, he stepped closer to the cave. In a small, shaky voice, he called out, "Hello? Is someone inside my cave?" Silence. Oliver swallowed hard. He tried again, louder this time. "Who's in there?" Suddenly, a deep, thunderous voice exploded from inside the cave. "I am the destroyer of beasts, the breaker of mighty bones, the one who crushes giants into dust." Oliver jumped backward so fast his paws nearly tangled. His heart raced wildly, his ears flattened. What is that?" he whispered in terror. Just then, a grey fox named Mason happened to pass nearby. Seeing Oliver trembling, Mason tilted his head. "What's wrong with you?" the fox asked. Oliver rushed forward anxiously. "Mason, please, there's something terrible inside my cave. Something huge, something dangerous. Can you help me?" Mason puffed out his chest confidently. "Of course," he said smoothly. "There's nothing in this forest I can't handle." With slow, dramatic steps, Mason approached the cave entrance. He cleared his throat and called boldly, "Whoever is inside, come out now." At once, the same booming voice roared from within. "I am the destroyer of beasts, the breaker of mighty bones, the one who crushes giants into dust." Mason's confident expression froze. His tail stiffened. Without another word, he slowly backed away, then turned and ran straight into the bushes. I'll pass on this one," he muttered as he disappeared. Oliver's heart sank even further. Not long after, a powerful black bear named Carter lumbered down the path. Oliver hurried toward him with desperate hope. "Carter, please help me. Something terrifying has taken over my cave." Carter snorted confidently. "Relax," he rumbled. "I've faced worse." He stomped heavily toward the cave and let out a deep warning growl. But once again, the terrible voice thundered from inside. "I am the destroyer of beasts, the breaker of mighty bones, the one who crushes giants into dust." Carter froze mid-step. His ears slowly lowered. His growl faded into silence. Then, without dignity or delay, the massive bear quietly turned and hurried away. One by one, other animals came: a wild boar, a tall deer, even a proud mountain lion. Each one stepped forward with confidence, and each one left with fear. Oliver's hope grew smaller with every passing minute. "Maybe," he thought sadly, "maybe my cave is lost forever." Just as the forest began to grow quiet again, a small voice spoke from behind him. "Do you still need help?" Oliver turned. Behind him stood the tiniest creature he had seen all day, a small green tree frog. His name was Leo. Oliver blinked in surprise. "You?" Oliver said gently. "Even the strongest animals couldn't do anything." Leo simply smiled. "Sometimes," he said calmly, "size isn't the most important thing." Curious animals began quietly gathering nearby, watching from behind trees and bushes. They wanted to see what would happen next. Leo hopped slowly toward the cave entrance. His movements were calm, steady, unafraid. He called clearly into the darkness, "Who is inside this cave?" Once again the voice roared back with all its terrible force. "I am the destroyer of beasts, the breaker of mighty bones, the one who crushes giants into dust." But this time, Leo did not move back. Instead, he hopped one step closer and shouted firmly, "Then come out and face me." Inside the cave, something shifted. A shadow trembled. Slowly, very slowly, a small figure crept toward the entrance. The watching animals leaned forward in disbelief. And then, out of the cave crawled a tiny caterpillar. The forest fell completely silent. For one long second, no one moved. Then suddenly, laughter burst from every direction. The fox, the bear, the deer, even Oliver. All of them stared in amazement, because the terrifying voice that had frightened the entire forest had come from the smallest creature imaginable. Leo turned gently toward Oliver. "You see," he said softly, "echoes can make small things sound very big." Oliver exhaled slowly. The tight knot in his chest finally loosened, and in that quiet moment, he understood something important. Fear grows fastest when we never look at it closely. My friend, this gentle story carries a lesson many of us learn too late. Small problems rarely stay small when we avoid them. Fear rarely shrinks when we run. And sometimes, the thing we fear most is far less powerful than our imagination makes it seem. So when worry knocks softly at your door, don't always step back. Sometimes, take one careful step forward, look closely, and you may discover courage was all you needed. If this story spoke to your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe for more meaningful life lessons. Thank you for spending this quiet time here. Wishing you courage, clarity, and a peaceful day ahead.